YouTube? It is your girl Taylor Gang, and I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, then thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are not new to this channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate anybody who takes the time out to see what I'm all about, okay? So thank you very much. If you are into transformation, if you're into growth, if you're into personal development, if you're tired of dealing with F-boys, okay? If you're tired of being run all over, if you're tired of stagnant relationships, if you're tired of being a doormat, okay? If you are feeling like there is so much hidden potential inside of you and you just can't seem to find a way to pull it out of you, then subscribe to this channel, okay? Subscribe, because I've been there before. 1, 2, I'm also a health and life coach, so I do this for a living, so I have a lot of tools and tips on how to help with habit change. I mean, like, I just have a big bag of tricks, so subscribe to this channel. So one thing that I have learned in my own personal development journey is how to gain respect. I have always been like the nice girl. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I allowed people to do things that I would never allow people to do to me now because I didn't have a sense of self. I didn't have a sense of identity. One of the things that I learned to do in order to get respect is to stop talking. I know it's hard to believe because if you're familiar with my channel, then you know I like to talk, okay? But I don't mean it in that sense. I'm talking about in my day-to-day life. I learned to shut the F up. I used to be one of those people that wore my emotions on my sleeves. Like I couldn't hide it. You know, I was always emotionally dependent on somebody. I allowed people to do, I don't want to say do whatever, because I did have some kind of boundaries. Put it like this, I would stand up for myself in the sense that like in past relationships, I would nag, I would address things that I didn't like. I still stayed. I threatened a lot and I never like followed through with anything. And so, you know, people lose respect for you. When you say you're gonna do something, you don't do it, people lose respect for you. And it's not a personal thing, it's a human thing. I needed to just stop talking. I needed to let my actions speak for themselves, especially when it comes to romantic situations. It's funny because I feel like this also helps me a lot in business. You want that mysterious aspect about you. You don't want to give yourself away. You don't want people to always know what you're thinking or what your next move is gonna be. You want to play chess. And I feel like when you talk a lot, when you're constantly nagging, telling somebody what you ain't gonna do or what you about to do if they continue to do whatever it is that they're doing, when you're constantly putting out these open-ended threats that never come to fruition, people lose respect for you. And it is human nature for people to test you. It's human nature for people to try to cross the line with you. And again, it's not personal, it's just human nature. So you get quiet and you move in a way that speaks for you, you will gain respect. So for me, the reason why I talked a lot, the reason why I used to repeat things and I used to nag and complain and borderline beg my exes to do right by me, I wanted to make sure that I was clear. And I know that sounds crazy because when you say things over and over again, it's like, how much clearer can you be? But in my mind, I'm just like, they didn't receive what I was trying to say to them because they had a lot on their mind, or they were, you know, preoccupied and doing other stuff. So maybe they didn't hear me clearly. And it's like, people know right from wrong. There's a fear aspect of talking so much. Like, fear is one of the underlying reasons why I think a lot of people talk too much, especially when it comes to relationships, because they're so afraid of losing this person. They feel like if they continue to tell them what's wrong, in their mind, communication is key. And it's like, yes, communication is key, but communication is also a strategy. You don't just communicate with your words, you communicate with your actions. Instead of just backing off and letting them come to you, you stick your claws in, thinking that if you're just like hovering over them, and if you're basically like a helicopter mom would be, you're just like micromanaging everything that they do, you feel like you have a handle on it, when really you're just pushing the person away. We also, as human beings have an innate need to rebel. An example that I can think of is when I was younger and it was my turn to do the dishes, and I had it in my mind that it's my turn to do the dishes. Like, I know it's my turn to do the dishes, but then my mom will come in and tell me, like, you need to do the dishes. I would get irritated, and then I would be so put off by it, I wouldn't even want to do them. Like, I would try to get out of it because, like, nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to, especially in a relationship, like, don't nobody want to be in a relationship with their mom, you know, like, constantly nagging. You know, if you don't like something, then let your actions speak for themselves. If somebody's disrespecting you, you get your dignity back by walking away. You don't need to yell and talk, you know. And I'm not saying to never talk, you know, I'm not saying to not communicate with your words. I'm just saying that when it comes to self-preservation, you have to play chess. There is just no ifs, ands, or buts to it. I don't care how much you love a person. I don't care how much you care about a person. I cannot tell you how many times I have had the opportunity to walk away from something and I decided to stay because I felt like by me explaining myself and talking to them and having these heart-to-hearts, I'm thinking that I'm doing our relationship a favor when really it's just pushing the other person away, because continuing to repeat yourself, not only is it just heavy, it's annoying. It is time for me to use my words to communicate something I don't like. I'm not going to repeat myself more than one time. I'm very respectful in my delivery. I don't come at people sideways. So if I sit you down and I'm explaining that I don't like something and you completely disregard what I'm saying and you continue to do it, I'm not gonna repeat myself, you know? And that's where you start to get respect. And ironically, the more you start to use your actions to communicate when it comes to situations like this, you start to get what you want, because either you walk away with your dignity and the person just leaves you alone, or you still have your dignity and the person actually meets you where you are. The one thing in common with option A and option B is you have your dignity, you have respect. Whatever it is that you have to do, whether it's getting into therapy, life coaching, counseling, continuing to watch videos like this, reading self-help books, whatever it is that you have to do to go from playing checkers to chess, do it. It's not about love. It's not about none of that. It's all about self-preservation. And when a person knows that they can't mess with you in a certain way, they're not going to do it because they already know what you're about. You know, like, people know who they can and can't test. There's no way in hell that anybody should be more important than our own self-preservation. Again, I'm speaking from firsthand experience. I'm just now settling in the norm of putting myself first, and from being that nice girl that wanted to please everybody, who put herself last, to now I'm first. I cannot tell you how beneficial and essential it is to make the investment to get yourself on the other side. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment down below what your experience has been. If you are a person who likes to wear their emotions on their sleeve, they don't really have a lot of control over their emotions, I would love to know your experience. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next